In this morning's Health Watch, is food addiction real? New research shows that people with addictive eating behaviors have brain activity that's similar to people with drug or alcohol addictions. And medical correspondent Dr. Jennifer Ashton is here with that story for us this morning. Just what people who love food want to hear this morning, correct?
Exactly.
So let's talk about this, because this has kind of been a little bit controversial, a topic. You've got 2/3 of Americans who are either obese or overweight. What does this research tell us about how the brain responds to food?
Well, Chris, first of all, the researchers at Yale, where this small study was done, really seeking to look at the two questions here of biology and psychology and how they may interact with the condition of obesity. So what they did is they looked at 39 women. They devised what they called a food addiction score questionnaire, asked them about their behaviors and their responses to food, scored them high or low, then put them in a functional MRI, which really looks at our brain's activity, areas of the brain that light up when they get activated, showed them pictures of a Haagen-Dazs chocolate milkshake, and then the very unappetizing saliva-like solution, a glass of it, and really looked at where their brains lit up. And what they found was the people who had the high activation score, when they looked at the chocolate milkshake, the area in their brain that's known as the reward center really lit up.
Well, Doc, you know I love you dearly, but these milkshakes right here, I'm kind of drawn to them. Advertisers know this. They know certain things will trigger a certain response with people. What happens when these are consumed?
Well, this was another one of the interesting things of the study. When they looked at the pictures, the reward center lit up. When they actually consumed the milkshake, what they found was that the areas in their brain that are responsible for our inhibition control to tell us, okay, slow down, that's the part that really got stimulated. So again, this all really is ongoing research about how our brains react to reward and fulfillment of that reward.
Food addicts. I mean, are they all, quote unquote, overweight people?
Well, this study actually didn't find any correlation between body mass index and these high food activation or addiction scales. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean that if you have this area in your brain light up to food stimulus that you're going to be obese. And we have to remember, not all addictive behaviors are necessarily bad for you. People can be addicted to exercise, and that's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, if advertisers are watching right now, pizza and chocolate chip cookies, I mean, I cannot turn myself away from these things.
They know what the triggers are for most people.
Let's talk about just some keys here of possible food addiction.
Well, what's really important, Chris, is that this is ongoing research that people in the field of psychiatry are actually looking at whether or not people need to qualify food addiction as a real addiction. So you can substitute drugs or gambling or smoking to any of the things that we're going to talk about. What they ask is really, do people need to eat more food than they initially planned? That can be one of the signs. Do you feel more sluggish after eating? Do you need to eat more food to feel better? And do you need to really go out of your way to fulfill this quest? So do you need to go out of your way to get that donut or that fast food?
How about some treatments for overeating? Anything that can be done?
The key is to know what your own triggers are and to behaviorally modify those responses. And again, like anything, if you know that you're addicted to smoking, you want to set your environment up so that you don't find yourself confronted with that. Food is no different. This isn't the whole picture, but it's definitely a component of it.
I know I said chocolate chip cookies and pizza, but are there foods that are actually a little bit more addictive than others?
Well, we hear of the term comfort foods. Those typically are the high carbohydrate, high sugar, high fat foods. Again, they're going to be looking more and more at this, and we might see that food is a real addiction right up there with gambling, smoking, and drug use.
Pizza and chocolate chip cookies make me feel very comfortable.
Be addicted to the broccoli. They're better.
It's tough. It's tough for a lot of people out there. Doc, thank you very much. Good to see you this morning.